Alright guys, it's yet another week has been literally finished. Uh, well, I'm recording this Saturday night. Today was the first day of the huge Super Saturday event. I should be headed down tomorrow to see what's left. Been pretty sick for the past 2 weeks, but I did get out here and there. Oos Wrestling's huge wrestling event. A cold night in the summer was incredible. That started off literally fully downhill and took off. So thanks to whoever came down. Last Saturday, Sunday was the huge expo, as you guys seen. Pretty insane, right? Unfortunately, I only picked up one thing from this huge expo, but I'm okay with that because I picked up a lot of things I wasn't supposed to, that wasn't at the expo. So first and foremost, it's hot tonight. Thank you to all the vendors that came down for the expo. It was a little bigger expo than, just a little bit bigger than the last expo that they had on just one side. Which was pretty surprising. The one item I picked up from the expo was the Star Wars Dark Force Rising Mara Jade, the Star Wars Black series. So it's basically Mara Jade, the lightsaber, and a blaster. It comes in a box. Top is art with her shooting somebody. The several faces. Her Dark Force Rising look. Comes with a story of Mara Jade. I was on the fence of picking her up, but for the price, it was hard to say no, and it's Mara Jade. So for those of you who don't know who she is, I literally beg you to look up the story. I mean, the story is basically right here. So Mara Jade was once Emperor Palpatine's literally right hand, his most trusted assassin. She's literally went and killed Jedis and literally everything that Palpatine wanted her to kill. Until she stumbled upon her arch enemy, Luke Skywalker, and fell in love. and then became a pain in the butt for Palpatine. Fortunately, like I said, I only picked that up from the expo that they had. Uh, it's the only toy pickup from this week. Been wanting to get out more, wanted to go down to 808 Collectibles. Fortunately, like I said, I've been sick the past 2 weeks. I'm getting better. Still a little discomfort. However, I did pick up a ton more pops than I ever expected to. Thanks to Hot Topics, HI Hawaii Collectors, and Book of at Pearlridge. So, the new Captain Hook, Peter Pan, the 70th anniversary. So you got Peter Pan on the back, a Flying Wendy, a Mermaid, a new Tinkerbell, and Captain James Hook. So I definitely needed a hook, and it comes with the clock, the stopwatch, the stop clock that the crocodile ate, which I thought was insanely cool. Tink looks amazing. This Peter Pan actually has the flute. If you remember, he played the flute, I believe in the animated series or animated cartoon movie at the bonfire. Truthfully, so we went looking for these things after we found out they came out. We can only find Captain Hook. We couldn't find the mermaid. We couldn't find Wendy. We couldn't find Peter Pan. And we couldn't find Tinkerbell, although we were looking for her. But I'm glad that I got Captain Hook. So the other item I got from Hot Topics was another Funko, Disney 100. However, I got the last one. So the box is a little dented. But it's Hannah Montana. Doesn't seem to. So it's the on-screen outfit with her holding a microphone. I'm not a huge Miley Cyrus or Miley Cyrus fan. I love the show Hannah Montana though. The idea of the show was awesome. And the girl could sing. Uh, don't like her antics, but she has a great voice. However, Funko, if you guys are listening, me personally, if you're doing the Disney thing, I want Selena Gomez. Just one musical would be great. Wizards of Waverly Place would be awesome as well. So, Got those from Hot Topic. HI Collectors surprised me with something I've been looking for, and that is my second bell. Uh, as I've said, I've been trying to collect 14 of the Disney princesses, 15 being Tinkerbell. I would like to try and have at least 2 pops for each princess. I think right now Cinderella I have 3. Not sure how many I have for Aurora. I think Snow White I have 2, the original and the newest one. There's still a few I'm missing, but the one I have Peasant Belle, but I wanted a more princess look for Belle, and the looks that they had for Belle didn't sit well with me for princesses until I seen this one, the live action Belle from the live action Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson, in her gown and holding the rose. This was a must-have. Glad I finally was able to get it. So the back has the live action Belle, Beast, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, and Chip. There's a Belle celebration bell, and then all of these bells on the bottom. Just normal bell. There's a bell. They call this the village bell, which was technically peasant bell, castle grounds bell, and grand rope bell. I just thought it was cool that she had rose in hand. And then, of course, we went to Book Off, and my brother found quite a few pops. And I was busy laughing because I didn't expect to find anything that I wanted until the very end. So I already have this, the 16 candles, Samantha Baker. They had all 4 characters, but the one I have isn't this one. It's a Hot Topic exclusive pre-release, which means basically it's sold at Hot Topics exclusively for a couple of months before it was released to every other store. So I'll probably be selling the other one. I don't know. I just wanted the sticker that says pre-release. The back is the same as the other one with all 4 characters. Sue me. I really don't understand. And if that wasn't bad enough, after I seen all of this, we dug through everything and Venom 654 Carnage Carla Unger. So it's all the Venomized characters. It's Carnage Carla Unger. This one is a Pop in the Box exclusive. I, I was on the fence, but I mean, if I'm getting all this damn symbiotes, I might as well get her too. Especially since she's pretty hard to find. So, last pop I got from Book Off, another one that is pretty hard to find. And another one that surprised me after I found Carnage. Superheroes Black Adam, the Funko store exclusive, Funko.com. So I do have the other Black Adam, which is another source exclusive. The difference is this one has yellow lightning, that one has blue. This one has no cape, and that one has a cape. Being a huge Black Adam fan, I couldn't say no. The price was great. Box looks great. And to get this Black Adam, the DC superheroes, I, I'm so the Black Adam movie was alright. Dwayne The Rock Johnson did pretty good. But I do not like the way he looked as Black Adam. I don't like the idea of him trying to make Black Adam as this hero or anti-hero. Yes, Black Adam was a hero to his country, to his people, but to everybody else, he was this supervillain that could go one-on-one with Superman. Uh, I like the idea of Shazam, the Captain M. I never liked that idea. So the whole idea of that was basically he was supposed to be the lesser Superman, meaning it was a swipe at Marvel. I do like the name change. It makes sense. But I, I like the villains in Shazam or Captain M, and I especially love Black Adam. The whole idea that in one part of the world, the greatest villain is a hero. And in retrospect, I mean, Marvel did the same thing with Doom. In his home country of Liberia, Doom is leader, he is king, he is a hero. Every place else, he's the greatest villain of all time. Well, sort of, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, as you can see, it's been a pretty busy week. It's been a very crazy week. I'm hoping probably today, tomorrow. I'm hoping this week I don't find a lot of things, but something is already telling me I might. I'm prepared for it, but at the same time, oh, it's one of those. You don't want to spend money, but there's a good chance you will. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out what I got, what I found this week in our toy hunts. Is some pretty crazy finds, as you saw. Hope you guys have luck finding some stuff. By all means, find it before I do. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See you soon. At least sometime this week. As you've seen, doing a little bit of Street Fighter, showing you guys the endings. Trying to do other things. Getting stuck in Diablo. All this while being sick. I was able to check out a couple movies. Oh, I am a huge subtitle, especially for anime. I'm not huge on dub. I saw a Denmark movie called Uncaged, where it is sort of a horror film where a lion is a pretty huge lion, bigger than normal, is loose in a Denmark city killing people. I think if it was in its original language, it would have been better. But you could actually see the lips and the sound were not syncing properly. And the American writing for it wasn't great. It could be something lost in the translation. It came off more of a joke than a horror film. I did like it. Uh, I, I wouldn't recommend it. I would say it's a it was a great idea, just not pulled off correctly in the American translation. I guess I did see the Spider-Verse movie. Fantastic movie. Have to, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Lots of Easter eggs, lots of Spider-Man. Uh, One thing I've found out is I get pretty annoyed with people who say they're huge fans of Spider-Man, but have no idea at all about all these other Spider-Men. I mean, I get certain things, like you, I'm, I'm sure there's not a lot of people who are fans of like Spider Gwen or Miles or. But if you're gonna do a video complaining about something, please look it up. So, I mean, I've heard like complaints about Spider Ham, Spider Monkey, Spider T Rex, Spider Buggy. Everybody's talking about why is this in here? Why is that in here? I don't understand. I can't see this happening. And it's like, look up the character, enjoy the character for what it is. The whole idea is there's a multiverse out there, different universes that are all linked because they're all in the same space, but they shake at the different variables so you won't see everything. And there's different Spider people, as there are different Captain Americas, different Iron Men. Although I do like the new comic where it's another universe where Tony Stark, instead of becoming Iron Man, becomes Doctor Doom, and the gold armor of Doom's armor on Stark, all gold, looks insane. And I'm sure, I mean, it goes back to like a lot of people complaining Falcon is Captain America. That never happened. Why why'd we give it to him? It's because it happened in the comics. And then something else happened. And then something else happened. There were a few people that actually carried Steve's shield. And I love the fact that they brought in the black super soldier. And people complaining about that. Why is Captain America black? And then, of course, there's this super secret thing that was leaked of Nomad. And I honestly can't wait for that. Probably next year or 2025. I I was a huge fan of Winter Soldier, and then I found out who he was and became a bigger fan. And then Marvel decides to rev up the Nomad comics. And first thing in my mind was the only Nomad I know was Captain America before he, or when he lost his memory. Had a goofy costume, hated it. So the idea was basically who would, who is Nomad? Who would replace Captain America? And when you found out who that was, it was even more insane. But I'm sure everybody's going to complain about that. So I it's not hard to look up things. Before internet, you literally had to read all of these comics. You had to know every single thing about your hero. Now everything is online. At a flip of the switch, you can read about Mara Jade from Star Wars, who she is, what she's done. You can read about who was Nomad. But a lot of people put out videos complaining without even researching. But I think that's the society that we've become. It's so simple to find information online, on the web, on internet. But we've gotten to the point where we're so lazy that we don't want to do it, and then we complain about stuff, which is pretty sad. That's why I always tell you guys, if you see something that you like, find out more about it. Enjoy the information. Learn history about it. G.I. Joe, there's like literally 4, 5 different cartoons now. Transformers, there's like 8, 9. There, so all of these are in different worlds. mean, if you find a hero, you find a character you like, wouldn't you want to look up all these informations? Speaking of which, a new animated Transformers movie is coming out. Still have to see Rise of the Beast. Still have to see Little Mermaid. Finally saw Avatar as well, but so this new animated movie is supposed to be before the War of Cybertron. So you get to see hopefully Megatron before he becomes Megatron. Find out how he got his name. Find out about the creation of Optimus Prime. It's going to be weird. I'm excited because I've read a lot of the books. I know some history of the Transformers, and the idea of so when we think of Transformers, all we know is the war that's been going on from Cybertron coming to Earth. But what a lot of people don't know is how the war started. What started the war? Why Autobots and Decepticons are fighting each other? Truthfully, the one with that coming out, one other animated movie I'd love to see is the creation of Cobra and the origins of G.I. Joe. I mean, if you've watched my other videos, I've talked to you guys about the origins of G.I. Joe. For those who don't know, G.I. Joe was created as a so the original idea of G.I. Joe was not it was created as doll to a doll for men, a doll for boys. The first action figure. It was supposed to be to rival Barbie. Barbie sales was going through the roof. Every girl wanted a Barbie. The idea was to create something pretty much the same, but now something for every guy. And then they created, I think, 4 or 5 characters, named them G.I. Joe. None of them had names at first. Technically, they all wanted the characters to be called Joe, every single one of them. It's pretty awesome. I think they were actually bigger than Barbie too. and part of the sales would go towards the war back then. And then when the war was finished, they GI Joe wasn't selling as well as Barbie was, so they decided to change and take out the military aspect and created a new venture, I guess, a new brand called Action Force for the figures, which, by the way, in Europe, G.I. Joe is called Action Force, not G.I. Joe. And then they did actually create a bunch of villains for Action Force, a couple bad guys, but it never took off. Not till years later that they decided to redo G.I. Joe, smaller, and for some reason, I think, especially with the cartoon, it took off. And in the whole idea is that there was an organization, terrorist organization named Cobra. The US government decided they needed a special unit, so they contacted the one person they thought would be able to help them, which is the original G.I. Joe doll named Joe Colton. He contacted one of his friends named Hawk, codename Hawk, as to be the leader of this special unit that the two of them built. And it was an insane unit. I think there were supposedly 14 characters, but only 13 made the cut. I mean, it's stuff like this that if you go back and actually look up information, which a lot of people don't anymore, some of these toys and these figures have some great stories to them. Some of the ideas and concept of even the story itself for the figures. You know, like Thundercats, the connection between Thundercats and Silverhawks, the connection between G.I. Joe and Transformers. And I mean, it didn't even happen here, just here in America, even in Japan. A lot of the Japanese toys were, I wouldn't say mix and match, but had lots of crossovers. All the giant robots had crossovers with each other. What we became known as Robotech for us in America is literally three different, very different anime series in Japan that they kind of squashed together. Transformers itself is two different lines. Diaclone and I forget the other one. That's why some of them were cars, some of them were military. But finding out the story of how those two lines were brought into America is a story on itself. Besides the story of Transformers, the story of the wars, and of course, Transformers' connection to GoBots. Like I said, guys, a lot of us realize the internet's there, all the information is there. A lot of us like to look up stuff, but there are a bunch of people that are way too lazy, and it's become a very sad world. Anyway, 15, 16, 17 minutes of me talking. It's been a long day. First day back at work. It's been a long week. It's going to be another long week. So we'll definitely be seeing you sometime this week. Hope you guys had a great night, great weekend. For all the fathers, happy Father's Day. Uh, for those wondering about Avatar, I personally loved the movie, except the ending, which was a cliffhanger to set you up for the next movie, which sounds like it's about another 20 years away. So yeah, still a lot of movies out there that needs to be seen. Little Mermaid looks awesome, by the way. Transformers again looks awesome. Flash again looks awesome. Spider-Verse Part 2 coming out next year. Uh, Lots of things, I think, coming within the next couple of months. Comic-Con in August. So hopefully I get the month of July to relax, not spend a lot. Uh, June. Oh my God. Before I leave, or before you guys go, Yojo June. Seen 2 renders. Shit went up online to pre-order. I got most of it. So the only 2 pre-orders I'm missing that I want, the Cobra Eels, and I'm still missing the Range Viper. New HasLab, G.I. Joe Dragonfly. After everything's said and done, about $305. It looks amazing. It is going to be huge. Wild Bill comes with it. We've already reached the first tier extension, which was Night Force Ripcord. Truthfully, like I said, I think I like that Ripcord better. Which unlocked the next tier, which is Glenda. For those of you who don't know who this is, at first glance, people will look at it and go, it's not a character that you know of, which su- will surprise you because you actually do know the character. So the character itself was created as a second version of Scarlet. Literally red hair. It was Scarlet in a new blue jumpsuit. It was for what she was supposed to wear when she flew in the helicopters and when she flew in the Sky Strikers. I believe in a few of the Sky Striker scene, she actually wears it for like a split second on screen before changing. Uh, they it it didn't do so well, but the model itself was shipped up to England, and then they recolored her hair instead of the red, yellow, and created a whole nother character called Glenda. Although she still had Scarlet's bow and arrow, it was weird, but at the same time pretty funny to see. I mean, it's like taking Snake Eyes, going to another country, repainting Snake Eyes another color, and creating a whole different character for the character. But the idea that we're getting a UK character that's supposed to be Scarlet, a well-known G.I. Joe, is very interesting. And technically, if you actually take off the straps, her look is actually just the original retro Scarlet, except a different color. But, I mean, if we had to get a female Joe, that was definitely something I kind of want. I, I wouldn't want. Okay, maybe a retro Scarlet would have been awesome to have, but there is no other female pilot that that I could remember. So actually bringing the European version of Scarlet and creating a character is pretty awesome. And then of course the last tier, we already know who it is. It's gonna be Hawk. Uh, the, the only thing we don't know is which version. I was surprised that we have a Tiger Force or a Night Force ripcord, so we could have possibly a Tiger Force Hawk or another version of Hawk. So the Hiss King is coming with the retro version of Cobra Commander, except the snake is a Mickey Mouse snake. For me, I would love to have General Hawk not in the green, but with his jumper, flight jacket, and his camo pants. And of course, give him the jetpack as an accessory. That would be awesome. But, I mean, if we're able to hit Glenda, we'll get to see which Hawk we get. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. We have to July 17th to pre-order it. I am trying to hold out a little bit. I I have a lot of pre-orders for G.I. Joe already for September and October, I believe. Lots of things coming in. I am one of the backers for the Cobra Hiss tank, so even that is coming in. I would love to get all the characters that's coming out. Plus, the Dragonfly looks great. I just don't know where to put it. I'll keep you guys informed though. So, again, have a good night. Take care. Aloha. We'll see you guys soon. Let me know if you guys actually, which one of you guys actually back the HasLab Dragonfly. See how many of us actually do it. Have a good one, guys.